Hi, this is Peter from Guitar Hunter. Today I want to share an amazing piece of Fender history in my opinion, and also, in my opinion, the best Fender Stratocaster find of the last 20 years. I'm sitting here with a 57 Stratocaster in Seminole red with gold anodized pickguard that was built to Roy Lanham and also owned by Roy Lanham. The story about this guitar, the guitar itself, everything is so incredible. I had so many guitars through my store, and some of the guitars is popping more than others. And I will say this guitar and this story is one of the best stories I have ever heard from this day. So the thing is that if we go back in February this year in 24, the grandnephew of the original owner, Luther Roundtree, he was nicknamed Red. She went into a local music store in New Mexico to get an appraisal for insurance purposes for this guitar. It was not for sale at that time at all. So she only needed an appraisal for insurance. And the music store was blown away because it was so special, because it's a 57 in custom color. And it is extremely rare to find a custom color from that time. So the local music store contacted John from True Vintage Guitars in Alabama to see if he were interested to see this guitar. And luckily, he was actually in that area because he was actually picking up another vintage guitar. So a long story short, he went down there in the end of February to look at this guitar, and he was blown away because what is that? This is a custom-made guitar. You can see it's a custom color. It's a huge neck. It has the mineral strip grain in the wood, and he was blown away. And I will have the same feeling if I saw it. After a long conversation with the family of Luther Roundtree, John was so lucky to buy this incredible guitar. But there was one thing that didn't make sense, because Luther Roundtree, he was a banjo player that played with a lot of great musicians back in the days in Los Angeles. Actually, he also played with Elvis Presley in the song Love Me Tender. But he was still a banjo player, so why should a banjo player has a Strat? So John went home to his shop in Alabama and he digged into all his books with Fender, and then he found this book, Fender Archive by Tom Wheeler. And he looked it up and looked through the pictures, and page 36, there was a guy standing with this guitar that has a mineral strip on the neck, custom color, gold anodized, and it says Roy Lanham playing his 57 Strat. Or it says the picture is taken in 57, but he's standing and play this great guitar. John was blown away and said, "What? How can that be?" There was no doubt, because you cannot copy this. That's mission impossible. And original old photo, and when you have these grain, you cannot copy that. So a needle in a haystack, I will say, and then you can go in Fender books, and then you can find a guitar that matches this guitar. So Luther Roundtree was just a footnote in history of this incredible guitar. It was owned and played by Roy Lanham. Roy Lanham was a great guitar player. He played country western, he played jazz, and he had a very, very good and strong relationship to the company Fender, and also a relationship to Leo Fender back in the 50s. Actually, Roy Lanham was the promoter for the Jazzmaster when that was released back in 58. And after 58, around there, we actually don't see him play a Strat anymore. And I had a conversation with Terry Foster that is the co-writer of the book, The Fender, The Golden Age, that he also confirmed that Roy Lanham was a promoter for Fender, and he 100% got this amazing guitar built, customed to him through Fender. So when we take that book and see the picture, there is also a 63 vinyl record from Roy Lanham when he's standing with the red Jazzmaster. But most importantly, when you turn it around, you see him playing his 57 red Strat with gold anodized pickguard. And this photo, I believe is taken in the end of 50s, because now it has more playwear, but you can still see the mineral streak, and there is a ding on the horn on the body, and it's also here. So all the indications and bulletproof about what this guitar is now finally closed this circle to figure out what is this guitar. How the banjo player got this guitar, we do not know, but what we know is that Roy Lanham and Luther Roundtree, nicknamed Red, both played in the band Sons of Pioneers. So it could be that he got the guitar directly from Roy Lanham or a member from the band. We do not know, but it makes sense if it's one of these things that could bring this guitar to the banjo player. So it's a fantastic find, and it's a great find that John did there, with no doubt. And Roy Lanham, again, he was also the person that promoted the Jazzmaster when it was released in '58. And actually after '58, you actually don't see him with this Strat anymore. We have tried, John has tried a lot, we have tried a lot to figure out, to find some more pictures about him with this guitar, but they are out there maybe, but we cannot find them. But the most important find about to indicate the guitar, what it is found. So that's the most important thing. So let's talk about the guitar. First of all, it's an original 57 with custom color red finish and gold anodized pickguard. Most importantly, the neck is a C white neck. That means normally back when it comes to Strats, you have a B neck and you have also sometimes A neck. It's the width at knot, and so it's huge, this one. It's the C neck, so it's very big. It's not a C shape, it's a C neck, the width at knot, so it's very big. It has the V profile on the back, but it's huge. And actually after sitting with it in 2-3 minutes, it's actually very comfortable. It plays really nice. So that's really a custom neck. I have never seen a Strat with a C white neck before, never. It has a very nice manual streak in the maple neck, and yeah, that's also very unique. And of course the color. The color has been so tough to figure out what it is, and we are pretty certain here in Guitar Hunter that this color is a Seminole red. Regarding costume colors from the 50s, it was not until '58 an idea to why not make a color chart, but it first came in '61. So this guitar, when we have to figure out what color it is a red finish for sure. But it's also important to say that all the car companies back in the 50s, they had their own color chart, but they nicknamed the colors by themselves. So when we go back and see, can we figure out what color this is? We are pretty certain that this color is a Seminole red. We bought a color chart from, not from Buick, but an old original one that is a Duco color chart from Buick. And when we are matching the Seminole red to the finish, there is no doubt that this guitar is a Seminole red. John tried to figure out if it could be a Matador red, and it definitely could, but it was not a Matador red. He tried to buy a color chart to see if it matched the guitar, but it did not. So we tried to see if we could figure out what color it is. And it is extremely, again, tough. And light on the guitar and everything, you need to have it in your hand. You need to have some color chart to see if you can find a match. So I have my good friend in Canada called Colin, and he said, why not Seminole red? Because that exists. Also, we figured out that these guys we know, they have seen Seminole red guitars, Fender guitars, so it made totally sense. And when Fender introduced the color chart in '61, there is some cases where you actually still can find a Seminole red up till '62. It's not standardized, it's not in the color chart at Fender, but they have been seen. So besides from the color chart from '61, there's also some guitars that are not standardized in the program that exist out there, as the Seminole red and actually also the Roman red. So a lot of investigation to figure out what color this is. And again, it is extremely rare to find a custom color from the 50s. And it's definitely if it's not blonde. This guitar is all original. It has two small tiny holes, like if it was an extra string tree. Sometimes you see that people had added an extra string tree holder, but this is two small holes here because the banjo player Luther Roundtree had added at some point a mute for a tenor banjo style tool to mute the strings or something like that. So it's actually included in the case. Then original frets. All the lacquer is completely original one-line Cluson tuners, and it has the original gold anodized pickguard. Furthermore, that also are very special on this guitar is when you turn it around, it has a backplate, tremolo plate in gold anodized. That is very rare, and we have talked to some people about it, and besides for this one, there's only one more with a gold anodized backplate that is documented. That's it. So this is extremely rare. You have seen some with gold anodized pickguard on the front, very few of course, but a backplate is extremely rare. What is also very unique and special on this guitar is that it has an extra ground wire that goes from the tremolo claw up to the body. So when you have this aluminum backplate on it, it's supposed to give you less hum. We tried to figure out, is that original? And it is 100% original. Because the thing is, you can see the solder is factory. But another thing is, again, my good friend Terry Foster confirmed that he only have seen one more that has that ground wire that attached exactly the same way as this one. And that guitar is also the guitar with a gold anodized backplate. So it's so nice that you can, all your friends, we can figure out what is this, what is original, what is not original, and everything. And it is confirmed that there is one more that has exact the same spot to the ground wire or back on the back plate here. Otherwise, it has a lot of dings, scratches, mojo, nice finish checking, the descent undercoat that you also like to see when you verify an original custom color. And it has the very, very nice 1/3/4 C white neck. Everything on this guitar is so special, and actually a little detail is that 57 is the year, a transition year, you can say that, because we had a 57 hardtail a few years ago that had exact the same features like this one. And that is again nice when you have to compare originality about guitars, because in 57 it's a transition year where Fender goes from polystyrene over to ABS plastic. And this guitar has a mix, so that is also original. Other than that, the decal is very nice. Yeah, everything is actually just amazing on this guitar. And I'm pretty certain that the banjo player didn't play this guitar so much, but the family told John that he loved it. And I will say I love it too when you look at it, because it's so beautiful. It's absolutely a wonderful guitar, and it really is a historical piece for Fender. And it's also the most expensive guitar I have purchased when it comes to a Fender Stratocaster. I'm so happy that we could buy it from John, because it is really amazing, and all the journey to get it and all the long conversation I had with John has been very, very nice, and also a great learning, because when you buy an unique guitar like this, that is without a doubt a custom built guitar that is not normal in the program, it is important that you figure out what exactly it is. So when you have these early 50s custom color, you really have to be careful about the originality, and this one has so many bulletproof features inside, the correct nail holes, the paint, and most importantly, we have all the documentation that is without a doubt 100% an original Seminole red Strat from 57 that was built for and to Roy Lanham, that had a close relationship to Leo Fender and the company Fender. And that is where I think that's the most special part in this story. Incredible find, incredible story. Thank you so much for that, John. We are much appreciated about that. This guitar is up for sale now, so if you are interested in this incredible guitar, you have to contact me directly in the shop. And I will also say that this guitar is so special, so it will be delivered in person, no matter where in the world you live. Think about that. Anyway, thank you guys out there for watching here, and subscribe our YouTube channel. Have a great day.